on.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Hey, my man.
Hey, good morning. Can you guys hear me okay?
Good morning. Yes, you're loud and clear.
Okay, yeah, so today we're going to go over the presentation. So today I'm going to go over the simple version. It's if you get this simple version, this would work really well already. But in the future, we're going to go over I also have the long version. So we can start by each one of you go over the most recent presentation that you went to. Each one go over two. One is that you close them, and one that you did not close them. So we'll talk a little bit about it, then we'll go over the way how we do it, so you can tell the difference. So whoever wants to start, you can go first. So basically, each one of you go over one most recent presentation you went to that's a success, and the one listing presentation or any presentation that you go to that you didn't close the client.
Just talk through it.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's like a role play, or just kind of talk about.
Just talk about it. Just talk about what happened. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, we can talk about. You want to talk about Abby's house, Damon? Hello.
Sorry, man. That was a success, right?
Hey, Abby's. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I guess, Ray. So we recently listed a house. Where, I mean, it was really, it was casual. Damon made the initial introduction. We both met with the client, walked through her house, looked through it, and it was a real casual conversation. We kind of just meshed with them. And, we kind of just talked about their goals, figured out what she was looking for. They were looking for top dollar for their house. So, we agreed with the client initially, hey, here's kind of a comfortable price range that we saw other things have sold for based on per square foot, based on the product. Now, depending on what your motivation level is to sell, if you wanted to fire sell this thing, get rid of it quickly, we would list it for this much. Or if you wanted to just test the market because it's a hot market, we could do it for top dollar. And initially, the client agreed to do top dollar to quote unquote test the market. So that's how we initially ran it for about 2 weeks. And then the client completely changed their mind, and they were very, 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 very eager to sell. So we, at that point, we started doing price drop, and then we got a contract.
Okay.
Still made them money, still made them about, I think it was like a 20% ROI, because they bought the home last year and they sold it this year. Or no, they bought it a couple of years ago, sold it this year. So we still made them money, but, we kind of we didn't really sell them. We were just like, hey, this is what we do. What are your goals? What are you looking for? Here's the data that shows what other homes like this are selling for. What are you looking to accomplish?
I think it was also, because I know this was a while ago. This was like the beginning of the year.
Okay.
I mean, there were some incentives that I threw in. So since it's considered, their home is considered a luxury home, right? So LA, a luxury home is like $2 million.
Okay.
Right? Here a luxury home is like $600,000 and up.
Okay.
So her home, it was an $800,000 home. So basically, I told them how, we are able to cater to that home like that was our specialty.
Okay.
So I feel like that's how we got that listing, because, I've been researching specialty, like luxury homes, and me coming from LA, I was like, oh yeah, I know the market for this and who wants this and things like that. And that's kind of how I was able to close that deal. But I also met Abby. I met them at a house when they were house shopping. I actually went out to see them when they were house shopping. I met them at a house, and that's kind of how that whole thing snowball affected. And I brought Ian along, and then when Ian came in, I think that kind of closed the deal, because they saw we had two agents, working with them.
So you're saying they liked what you had to present, because they think so for housing this market, For house in this market, is that a lot of buyers came from out of state?
Yeah, right, yeah, absolutely, yeah. I got I did a paid research project, 90,000 per year, come from California to Texas.
Okay. What was the do you know what was their motivation for selling?
They wanted to buy a new house. They had a baby, so they were in a townhome.
Okay.
An elevator. It was nice, but they wanted a single family.
All right. Okay. Okay, that's good. That's a success scenario.
I can think of an unsuccessful listing presentation I had. It was last year with about a $1 million house.
Okay.
And it was unsuccessful because I think I spoke too much about the numbers.
Okay.
And didn't focus on their goals.
Okay.
So yeah, I think when Dave and I we work well together because he's very good at creating rapport. He's very good at creating a good relationship with the client.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll usually come in and help them kind of give that push for the call to the action.
Mm-hmm.
So we're kind of like a tag team in that sense, to where we'll both kind of massage them. He'll massage them a little more than I will, and then whenever they're like primed and ready, I'll say, okay, so based on the data, based on your goals, here's kind of a couple different options. Which option do you want to do?
Mm-hmm.
That was our approach on the last one. I think it worked really well because of the way we both are. The ones where I've not gotten listing is where I've just come in and just focused strictly on facts and numbers. I've gotten listings from focused on facts and numbers, but I think kind of like you talked about before, it's focusing on what their goals are and what the client really wants.
Did you go to the appointment together, or did you used to go to the appointment together?
So that was the only listing we've done together so far. In the past, before we were working together, yeah, we were both doing our own thing.
Yeah, so we for that particular listing, I actually met with them first. So it was like I kind of brought Ian on before we actually signed the listing agreement. So when Ian came, it was the field they needed to sign, right, to get them to do action.
Mm-hmm.
So I brought him on after meeting them. I went on the appointment, but to close the deal, I brought Ian in just to,
Okay, so for this two scenario, the other one you said you were able to sign because you think you sold them on the fact that you have a luxury house experience and you have clients that they think probably you'll be able to find them the clients. That's the reason you signed the first one, right? The $600,000 one.
Yeah. So it was like $750. So this one we basically did a video. We created a presentation. So, and I don't want to go too off on a tangent, but it has something to do with my other business. So we created a video presentation. It was a beautiful modern video for the home. Everyone loved it. Put it on social media. We had all kinds of interest in the home. People just couldn't afford it.
Okay, so you made the video before you went to the presentation?
No. The video was a contingency of signing the listing agreement.
Okay. And Ian, you said the reason you guys didn't sign the $1 million property is because of what? Because
this was one I worked on solo last year before David and I got together.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still trying to get to the bottom of it because I don't think they end up I don't really know what happened with that house, but number one reason is the decision maker wasn't there. It was his son and his wife, and they both they told me they liked what I had to say. They liked me. It seemed like they could have been completely lying, but also I kind of focused too much on the nitty gritty and not, hey, what is your reason for selling? What does it look like after you sell? I didn't focus on that too much.
Were you able to book a follow-up appointment? No,
never got a hold of them.
Okay. So they didn't pick up the phone afterward?
No, never picked up the phone. Called them like 20 times. They never picked up or never followed up.
All right. Okay. So that's just talk through the whole thing. Probably on the basis of these two scenario. I don't know if I mentioned to you guys before. So from now on, you want to get all the chance you have to collect client reviews. Zillow review. For listing, Zillow review is probably the most the best one. So usually what we do is every time after we sell the home, we send them a request for review, and here's how it goes. So I'm just gonna give you the gist of it. So, hey, thank you for allowing us to to service you, and because of you, we're able to support the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles. So if you once you review us, and we can, or if you refer clients to us, we're able to service and help more the children's at the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles. So basically, when we ask for the review, we talk about the nonprofit work we support. So it's not like we could get in it for ourselves. It's like we're trying to get a review so we can do more good. You know what I mean? So the reason I start the whole conversation today with this review is because, so you were mentioning about going in cold, and you were talking about numbers. So some of stuff just doesn't click. So it's very important before you go to presentation that you need to pre-sell. So the way to pre-sell, there's two ways. One way is you actually send in the pre-sale package, the physical package. It's a box with various material that shows what do you do, what have you done, your track record, and any reviews, any customer, what good things that people are talking about, are saying about you. So that's one way. That's the best way, actually, but it's kind of cost prohibitive. I mean, it's not prohibitive, but it gets pricey, and also logistically, it's a little bit harder to do, because basically, let's say if my people book appointment for me, let's say if I'm gonna send the physical box, the pre-sale package, then they can only set the appointment 2 days out, because we need time to send the pre-sale package. So instead of doing that, what I did is I just, on my website, if you want, you can go take a look. It's on raysoul.com. It's under testimonial. Instead of sending the physical package, I just have them, my people, to copy paste that page, the testimonial page. So basically on the page, it will have, on the very top, it will have, like a quick overview of what we can do for them. For example, we have the buyers, we can get you home for $50,000 for 5% more than what the average realtors can get. And we sell more homes, we have more experience, we can get you more money. So on top, we have like a quick overview of how we're different from other people, other agents. And then as they go down the list, the page, they will see many reviews from past clients. And also they will see, the nonprofit work we do. So basically, because the review is actually very important, because it's like, because especially when you're meeting somebody that's brand new, they don't know who you are, right? So if it's just all about you talking about how good you are, nobody can believe you. But if there's a whole bunch of reviews from other people or other customers, then you become very credible in their mind, even without them ever knowing you, right? So the reason I got that Beverly Hills listing, the $3.7 million listing, is that I think I shared briefly with you guys. So every time when I sell a home, I just I also make a social media post. Hey, we just sold this home for example, $50,000 more than what the average realtors, $50,000 more than the asking price. And so on top, I would have that, and then I would also have the review from that customer. Oh, we love them. The Ray Chen home selling team, they did a great job. They sold our homes quickly, and they got us $50,000 more money. And then on the bottom, I will also have the quick overview of how we are different, how we're better. So just similar to what I have on the testimonial page. And they will say, hey, we can sell. Hey, call us if you want to sell a home. We can sell your home for for 5% more. We have the buyers. Can sell your home quickly with no hassle. And then on the bottom, then I would also have a whole bunch of more reviews. So the reason that person contacted me, because I sent that post out, and they saw my post. So when I went to see them, their first comment to me is that, I see that you're doing great. You're selling a lot of homes. I see a lot of good reviews. So, and when I went there, they were really friendly to me. It did not even feel like we didn't know each other. It felt like they know me. Actually, it feels more like they know me than I know them, because they had already seen all that information. So one of the first thing you want to do if the listing presentation and getting more listings is your focus, is to collect as many reviews as possible. So the way to collect reviews is that the best review to get is the Zillow review. And let's say if you did not get the Zillow review, you can have them, let's say if you have a Facebook post, you can have them just make a comment under your Facebook post, and then you can screenshot that comment. So that's what we do. So we screenshot. So when we get the Zillow review, we also screenshot the Zillow review, and then we just save. So basically, we save all that reviews. So basically, on my iPhone, I save the heart. I have a special. I heart all the reviews. So that, let's say if I'm making a post on Facebook or WeChat or whatever social media, then I can just go find the reviews quickly. And whenever I'm making some kind of post, I just add a whole bunch of review in it. The reviews is very important. So that's a pre-sale. So if you do that correctly, it's gonna make your closing at least 50 times easier. So let's say if you go in cold turkey, you can still close them, but it's going to take a lot of work. But if you send those pre-sale material before you meet with them, it's going to make your closing so much easier. Because just like the Beverly Hills listings I just signed, it's like they already know me, but it seems like they know more. They know more about me than what I know about them. And I'll give you another example. So, as Ian know, that I'm also in the Michael Blank program, the real estate syndication. So I booked an appointment with an investor to go over the syndication, see if they want to invest with me. They asked me for some information. I did not send to them because I wasn't ready yet. I don't have that everything set up yet, so I didn't send it. So I think because I didn't send the information, they canceled on me. You know what I mean? So the reason they canceled on me, I'm assuming I didn't send them information, and they were thinking they're gonna meet with me. So they probably went online and start searching for me. But when I search for me online, all they see is the information about how to sell a home and like a brokerage for selling real estate. They probably didn't look. They didn't find anything about real estate syndication. I'm assuming that's probably what happened. So that's why there's two minimum stuff two actions you want to take. You want to first systemize your online presence. So basically, if you're selling homes, then all your online presence needs to be like when people go search for you, they need to see the Damon and Ian home selling team. We sell homes, for top dollar and the least hassle, something like that. Or guaranteed offer from the Damon and the Ian home selling team. So anywhere they search, they need to see this kind of information, consistent. And also, on your website, you need to have a page that's in that format, so similar format. So you can every time before you go meet with a homeowner, then you send them that pre-sale link. I mean, if you want to prepare the pre-sale package, that's okay too, but that's going to take some time. I mean, you can do it down the road probably. But now, what you need to do now is to, for your website, your Facebook page, your LinkedIn, your Instagram, your Twitter, So all your account, they need to be systemized, showing the same message, so that, for example, if they go search for you, you know, you want them to see what you want them to see. Do you guys have any question about this?
Yeah. So
go ahead, Lee. Go ahead. Sorry. No, you go first, Lee.
Okay. So I guess I'm curious. Would it be effective to post about syndication and brokerage? Like post, hey, we're buying a...
No, okay. The biggest thing about marketing is you do not want to confuse the customer. That's the biggest thing. So that's something I have to. So basically, you cannot be both. You can only be one or the other. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So okay, you can do this. Let's say you have one, so you can do this. So since you have two guys, so you can have one guy's account with both name that's focusing on the listing or brokerage, and another guy. Let's say Ian, if you also want to do the syndication, then on all your account you will only be syndication. On all Damon's account would be all, you know, list brokerage. You cannot confuse people. So the way I have done it is that so because I'm also doing syndication and you know, brokerage. So before, if you go to all my accounts before, what you'll see is your home sold guaranteed, or you know, or it's all about brokerage. So because I'm also doing syndication, so now I change all my information to real estate fast lane. But it's still not the best because it's kind of vague, you know. So if you want to focus, that's the best way, because you don't want to confuse the customer. So that's the solution, you know. So one person focusing everything on brokerage, another person focusing everything on the syndication.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. My question was, so I did start getting reviews.
Yeah.
From like my clients, and I do send them straight to Zillow. Send the request link, boom, and they go to Zillow. My only question is, so like I have reviews in Zillow, so I think I got like 6 right now.
Mm-hmm.
So with those reviews, how do I sync that to like Facebook? Because what happens is, to get reviews on Facebook, it almost like it makes me they have to do a separate review.
Okay, you don't need to get multiple reviews. All you got to do is just send everybody to Zillow, and once you get a Zillow review, just screenshot the Zillow review, and then you can post everywhere. You know what I mean?
Okay, you can screenshot it. But when you go to a Facebook profile, the first thing that pops up on the left is the reviews with the stars from clients. So how do I get? Because your Facebook doesn't look credible unless you have reviews.
Oh yeah, I mean, then
if you're screenshotting them, it doesn't matter. If you're screenshotting.
Oh, okay, yeah, I know what you're saying. Then you just need to send 2 links to the client that you want them to review you. But
yeah, so it's like, so you're sending double reviews. Like I'm making the clients give me a Zillow review, and say,
there is actually
on Facebook.
There is a website, I forgot the name. I can look for it. You can remind me. So basically, if you send them the website, they review once, and then you synchronize to all the other websites. I forgot the name. There's a couple websites that does that. Yeah.
Well, I know you can't do it with Zillow, because Zillow reviews are reviewed by Zillow before they.
Yeah, Zillow is separate. Zillow is separate. I know there's a website that can help you to. I would say just focus. Don't worry about being perfect. Just focus on Zillow, because that's what that has everything to do with real estate. So that's more important. You know what I mean?
Yeah, got it.
Yeah.
So I guess the follow-up question is, while Ian and I we have different projects, so we've been focusing a little bit on the investment side. I know last time you talked about we're probably going to change our focus and find some ways to maybe automate some of the things.
Yeah, that's the thing. So, you got to have somebody do this work. So I would say, you know, because the focus is the key. If you spread yourself too thin, then that's gonna be, you know, that's actually counterproductive. So you cannot be like, oh, I want to do syndication, and then who do I find to do the brokerage business? it's gonna be hard, especially from the beginning. You gotta focus on one, because the way I'm doing it now, I sort of can do it because I already been doing brokerage for a long time. But if you're starting everything both from the kind of the beginning, then that's gonna be very hard, because if you just starting out, it takes a lot of energy to put everything in place.
Right.
Yeah.
So from the beginning, when you just, and I know you've been doing it for a while, but when you started to expand, when you went from 5 Zillow reviews to 20, so in between, so while we're doing that, because really we don't have that credibility to showcase. We have lots of credibility, but we don't have that listing presentation.
Doesn't matter.
To showcase.
Doesn't matter. You can get the buyer reviews too. They don't even. They cannot tell the difference really. What you can do is you can go back to all the buyers, all the sellers, and all the past clients you have, and ask them for the review, and then just tell them, hey, we're starting this new nonprofit program. We're helping the kids. It would be greatly appreciated. It would help us a lot for us to help more kids if you review us, something like that. You can try to get the review from all the past customers that you didn't get a review from before.
Okay, so I got you now.
Yeah, if you do that, I think you probably can get at least 10 or 20 reviews, no problem. So once you get 20 reviews, so that's pretty credible already. And then you can just screenshot and save that review, and you can reuse it everywhere.
Got it.
Yeah. So that's the first step. Okay, so you wanna have the right online presence, and you wanna make a page, a link where you can send as a pre-sale link to people before you go to presentation. So and also when you request a review. So here's how I do it. Usually I just ask them, I say, hey, can you review me? And, if you want, I can write the review, and if you can you can look it over. If it sounds good, you can just copy and paste. There's one way to do it. Another way, if you have them write it themselves, you need to give them an outline, like how to do it. So usually the easiest way to write a review is, we love the Damon and the Ian team. Before we met with them, we had a hard time to sell a home. The agent wasn't performing. So after we met at Ian and Damon, they were able to get our home sold quickly for top dollar. So usually you want them to write in this format, like a comparison format, and also point out what exactly you guys did that made a difference for them. That's the general format that you want for the reviews.
Got it. So I guess it's the last question. So if we're getting reviews, like I have reviews for Damon, so I have Damon reviews, and Ian may have reviews for Ian. Since we're starting a new brokers, and Ian and I have always, this is kind of where we get stuck. Since we're starting a brokerage and a team, we need one name to not confuse the customers. But our reviews are going to show Damon, Ubre, Ian, Starkey. The reviews are not going to show the brokerage. They're going to show individuals.
Doesn't matter. As long as it's connected to you, that's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, you could. Let's say if you make a pre-sale link, you could have your review, you could have Damon's review, since you're a team, so it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know Zillow, when we were a team in Zillow, we decided to lead it. But when we were a team, it would review the team. I remember that. The review would go to the team. But now since we're separate, but I see what you mean though, Ray. I don't want to get too deep into it. It's just it's always been difficult for me to figure that out.
Doesn't matter. As long as it's reviewed, doesn't. They don't care if it's yours or Damon's. Or Ian's. Yeah. Okay. So that's one thing. First thing you need to take care of. Streamline to have a clear message for your online presence, and then for your website, you want to create a link where you can send people as a pre-sale link. It's very, very important. And so here's how the people that are booking an appointment, they would tell the homeowner, hey, Damon, can you make sure to take a look at the website link I just sent to you before Damon or Ian meet with you? That way, because the link actually show you, how they can get more money for you. That way, when Damon and Ian go meet with you in person, they can share with you more in detail how they can get more money for you, just something like that. Just basically give them a instruction, make sure that they look at the pre-sale link before they meet with you. So it makes a big difference, yeah. So that's about the pre-sale, okay. So today we're just gonna go over the basic 4-step. Which is the disc, the why, and the monopoly, and the guarantee. So once you send the pre-sale link, it's gonna get so much easier. I'm telling you. After you go, because like every time I go, they always like a lot of times if they see the link, then they will, it almost feels like they know me, So that makes it so much easier. It's like you don't even need to break the ice. The pre-sale link already broke the ice for you. Then the first thing you want to do is to, understand their personality type. So of the two situation, the scenario you guys shared, what's the personality of each person of the homeowner?
The one who we went to, they were pretty, I'm going to say, what's the disc again? Dominant,
yeah. Dominant,
yeah.
Influential, dominant, influence, steadiness, and what's the other one? So there's 4. So basically there's the boss type, there is the salesperson type, then there's the engineer type, and then there is the nurse type.
Yeah, that was the last one. The last one was I think Abby, our last client, the one with the luxury townhome. And I don't know about the one Ian failed on, but the one I failed on, he was more influential. He wasn't dominant, but he had so much money, it was like I had to offer him something that someone else wasn't offering him, and that was difficult. So I couldn't close that deal.
Okay. So the first minute when you go, to talk to the homeowners, when you meet with them, the first thing you want to do is not selling. The first thing you want to do, obviously, to identify the personality type. But what most important of all is you need to open up the communication channel. So if you think back, of all the presentation you went to, the presentation that you didn't close, usually you can feel the whole time is kind of a little bit awkward. You can feel that they didn't completely open up to you. The listings, that presentation that you went through, and you closed them, then you can feel that the vibe is pretty good. There's a good vibe, and they're open to you, and you have a good vibe. You have a good feeling about each other. So that's why you want to make sure the first thing before you do any selling, you want to make sure the communication channel is opened up. And there's a whole bunch of things that you need to do to make sure it's open up. I can talk about that next time in the next session. But today we're just gonna talk about the basic 4-step. The first one is disc. So you want to understand that the easiest way to find out the disc is ask them what they do. So obviously you don't want to make it feel like a interrogation. You want to make it like you're just chatting. But in the back of my mind, you're trying to go in step by step. So the first step you want to do is figure out their personality type, and then once you figure out their personality type, you want to talk to them according to the way they wanted to talk to. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, right?
Yeah, no, for sure.
Go ahead. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, we want to figure out, what kind of person they are and figure out how to approach them.
Yeah, so you want to figure out their personality type, then you want to talk to them according to the personality type. So for the dominant type, you want to focus on talking about the outcome and not to go too much into details. So for the influential type, the influence personality, you want to focus on, make the conversation fun. So for example, last time I met with a homeowner, she was a retired hairstylist. So she was very bubbly. She was, She likes enjoys conversation. So when I met somebody like that, usually I'm not a bubbly person. I don't. I'm not that type of person, but I try to, talk more like her because I want to make sure I communicate in the way she wanted to be communicated. Usually I go through this presentation with actually the presentation package. But sometimes when I meet with the dominant type, I kind of I gauge on how they behave, and then I decide if I take it out or not. Because for the dominant type, they don't want to sit through any presentation. They have no patience. They just want you to tell them what you can do, and then that's the end of it. So for those personalities, sometimes I don't even take out the presentation. I just talk to them. I just focus on the outcome, so focus on what I can get for them. And for the engineer type, I make sure I share a lot of data. I share our past success. Because the engineer type, they want the numbers, and for the nurse type, I share with them about what we do with Children's Hospital of Los Angeles. With every home we sell, we donate to them. We make sure we treat our treat our customer well. We make sure we treat our staff well. So the reason you want to determine the personality type is because you want to, once you understand the personality type, once you know which type they are, then you want to kind of morph into that personality, and you want to talk, you want to communicate in the way they want to communicate it. You know what I mean, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
So that takes practice too. That's why I say even now I practice. I still practice whenever I get a chance. So every time when I get on an Uber, I practice that. I practice the personality, find out the personality, and talk in the way they want to communicate it. And then I practice how to to figure out their why they're driving Uber, what's their motivation for driving Uber, why they want to make money, what's their motivation for making money. So I whenever I get a chance, I still kind of practice that. So the first step, you send the pre-sale package. The second step, you want to, after you meet with them, you want to communicate in the way they want to communicate it.
And that pre-sale package, that's something you can help us put together, or that's, I guess, can we see yours?
Yeah, you can just go to my website. It's raysoul.com, and then you click on testimonial. So that's what I have been sending to them, to the homeowners before the presentation.
Okay. So Ray, you're going over the different discs. So how do you assess if someone? So I understand how you assess if someone is that, like if someone is dominant or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But how do you? How did I want to phrase this question? As far as I'm going to a meeting with someone, and what are some key things you look out for? I guess that's what I'm saying. Like, because you've been doing this much longer than us. What are some key things you look out for each personality?
You mean what not to do?
Well, no more. Like, what are some key things you look that stand out to you from a dominant person? What are some key things that stand out to you from?
The easiest way to find out is just ask what they do. Their profession. So if they tell you, let's say if they tell you, I own my company for 30 years, so most likely that person is kind of like a high D, dominant. Or if somebody told you, I was a nurse for 50 years, I just retired, so most likely they're the nursing type. They care and value the how do you say it? the how people feel. And if you met somebody, they say, I was a CPA, then most likely they're more into numbers. They are more into the details.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, so dominant is more like CEO types, people that own their own businesses, manage people in management and stuff like that.
So the CEO type, they don't like details. They just want outcome. They only care about the outcome. influential type, they like to talk, they like to have fun. They're usually like salespeople. So it's not that you only have one. Usually most people, they have two more dominant. Like for me, my personality type is high D and high I. So usually people have two that are more prominent than the other two. And then you have the steadiness type, which are nurses. They care and they want to make sure that people feel good, and they care. They want to make sure people, they care about people. And the compliance type, they're mostly like CPAs or engineers. They want to make sure the numbers are right. They want to make sure the details are correctly done. So, like for example, if you talk about, if you met with the dominant type, you don't want to go too much in detail. You want to make sure kept focusing on what kind of outcome you can get them. And for the influence type, you want to make sure they feel good about talking with you the whole time. They have fun. You want to make sure they feel like it's interesting and that they feel good about talking with you. And for the steadiness type, which is the nurse, the people that are nurses, you want to talk about how you care about people, how the feelings is more important. And for the compliance type, you want to make sure that you show them a lot of statistics and not a lot of numbers. Hey, so here's you see these homes, these are the past homes, our performance. Here are the numbers, kind of like that. So basically, once you figure out the personality type, then you want to talk according to their communication style.
Okay. And I guess another call would be to kind of connect this would be objections. Like, what objections do you see? And I guess we can do that on another call because it's probably going to take a while to go over the objections.
Well, the objections, I didn't have them, grouped. I mean, the objections, they can be they can be anything and everything. Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm saying, like, for instance, if the listening presentation, let's say Ian and I get it down to a science, kind of like you have it, there are certain objections that come up consistently more than others. I was just asking if there were any objections that you tend to hear repeatedly.
Yeah, I have that. Yeah, so we have that. Yeah, so we'll go with that too. Yeah, so there's usually objection about price, it's about commission, it's about other realtors. Yeah, so we'll talk about that later. Yeah. Okay. So once you figure out the personality type, then you communicate in the way they want to be communicated. And the next thing you want to go into, it's the why. So you want to pinpoint the motivation. So usually when I go through this presentation, let's say if the presentation is 1 hour, usually at least half an hour we're talking about why. So because if you understand their motivation, if you know exactly the reason you want to sell, so basically, it's very simple. So basically, you just figure out what they want, and then you just tell them, hey, no problem, I can get it done. I can get you what you want. That's it. That's why it's very important that you figure out what they want.
Right.
So, a lot of times, so I can tell you that most salespeople are, kind of handicapped. So I think probably at least 60-70% of salespeople, they don't really know what they're doing. They go to talk to the people, they just like blah 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 blah, but they don't have a strategy. They don't have a step by step operation standard on what they need to do. So in the future, every time when you go to presentation, so in the back of your mind, you'll be like, okay, so I send the pre-sale package. So first I figure out the personality. Then I need to figure out why, what's the reason they're selling, what's their motivation, what's most important for them, what's the price they want. And then, okay, so I got that. I guarantee to them, hey, no problem, I can get it done for you. And then you're like, hey, so let me share with you how I can get you the most price. Then here's the reason 1, reason 2, reason 3, reason 4, reason 5. Don't worry, man, I can get it done for you. So basically, yeah. So basically, it's these steps, yeah. So basically, in the future, when you meet with any seller, so this is the step you're gonna go into. So in the back of in the front end, you're just talking like, just like you're chatting, but you're not chatting. In the back of your mind, you follow all these steps. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Understood.
Okay, but and also now, you're saying that we should create all the social media platforms and all that before we start calling?
Doesn't matter. I mean, it doesn't take days. You can get it all done today. I mean, most of you already have it. You just decide whose account to use. You just change it. Basically, you just change it.
Yeah, I mean,
go ahead. Yeah.
I was just saying, I create an OS Realty Facebook and Instagram page during this call, so
okay.
We'll just have to put some pictures and content on there.
Yeah, you just need to. The easiest way to do, you just need to create a cover page for everyone and make sure at least the top position is related to real estate.
Mm-hmm.
So a easy way so basically for the marketing, the most important thing is you do not want to confuse the client, the customer. You want to have one simple message, one click to action, one CTA, one click to action, one simple message. A lot of times you see, there are people that they put on a billboard. On a billboard, they have email, they have phone number, they have website. That's a big no-no, because when you the confused mind will not take any action, right? So you want to make sure you just have one. Like for all my business card, all my online presence, I have no other contact except a phone number. That's the only contact. Because we don't want to confuse the customer. We want to make sure if they want to reach us, they know what to do. Call.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, you can use the Canva is a good designer website. You can use Canva to design, it actually has different format. You just search for, let's say, if you search for Facebook cover page, it's going to come up with a whole bunch of template. Then you just change it. So one good way to do it, you can say guaranteed offer, the Ian and the Damon's home selling team, something like that. And the phone number. That's it. That's all you need. And obviously, you got to comply with the state real estate board. You got to put your broker number and the stuff. Yeah.
What website did you use?
Go ahead.
What was that?
What was the website you said you recommend?
Canva. Canva. So basically, you can design anything for free. It's very easy to use. Canva.
Not Canva, but Canva.com?
Canva. Yeah.
B as in Victor or B as in boy?
V as Victor.
Victor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Canva.
Canva.
Yeah.
Ray, the other thing is, what do you use for your phone number? Like when they call.
So for now, because my clientele are multicultural, so they have Chinese speaking and English speaking. So that's why I'm just using so basically what I do is I just use the Google phone, and then I connect my phone to the Google phone. So the number I put out there is the Google phone number. So the good thing about that is you can download the Google Voice on your phone. So it can track all the voicemail and all the text message.
Mm-hmm.
So there's also answering. There's also a company out there, they answer the phone call for you. So if you do that, then you don't need to pick up the phone call. They just forward to you. But for me right now, at least, I would like to do it that way. But I have some customers that only speak Chinese, so that's why I have connected to the Google. The good thing about Google is, let's say the number you put out there is the Google number. You can change the backend number anytime you want. Let's say for now you only want Ian is the person picking up all the phone calls. Then you connect Ian's phone number. Let's say later on, if Damon wants to be the one person pick up the phone call, then you just connect the Damon's phone number.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we need. We're looking for a way to not pay a company to do that, because you have companies that answer your phone for you and they relay messages, but it's about $80 per month for that service. But because we won't always be able to answer the phone.
Yeah, so if you want to answer the phone, then you just connect to the Google phone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a Google phone now. I guess we'll look into a way to maybe link that or create a new Google phone.
Yeah,
but I have one now that's
Yeah, if you have one, you want to use that one, that's okay too. Or if you, because in the early days, you are still able to find some good numbers, like a 1, 2, 3, whatever. Or the number came out to be the word home, whatever. But now there's not that many numbers left anymore. So you can search for it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think we got a lot of action steps here, right? I think
What was
I think
that?
this is good. We have a lot of action steps right now, so we have a lot of things that we can be doing from this conversation we're having with you.
Yeah, I'll send you another folder. So with all the stuff you need to do. So basically the first step, pre-sale package. The second step, you got to figure out the personality type. The third step, you got to figure out the why. So usually what I do is for the pre-sale, usually when I was confirming the appointment, usually I ask them, what price do you have in mind? That way I'll go in and knowing exactly what the price they have in mind. That way I can know I can close them or not,
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I guess with the pre-sale packet, that's you'll just send us yours, and then we'll kind of take yours and copy it and put our branding and our faces on it and stuff.
Yeah, for the first step, you can just check out mine. You can just kind of like do it similar to that. So basically, the pre-sale package is just the outline of what you can do, like your selling points, and then you'll have a whole bunch of reviews. Hold on, give me a minute. Hold on, okay.
Okay.
你有病是不是啊？你跟我讲我在中立客，你这个叫我狗屁噻！你白痴吗你？
Zillow rep told me that you can actually get reviews from people that you didn't even help sell. So you can get reviews from anyone you help with real estate.
给我半个小时，闭嘴！
See, I didn't know that, but it just increases it, right? Because I've helped more people recently with real estate than I've helped sell a house. So it's like,
doesn't
you
matter.
can send that link to them.
You could be anything. It doesn't have to be a homeowner. You could be anything. Even for the people that you help to lease a home, you can have them write a review for you too.
Right. And the customer doesn't know any difference. They just see 20 reviews. They're like, oh, wow, this person has been doing things.
They just want to, okay. Another way for you to quickly build up your track record is what I see that sometimes I see somebody that sold, let's say if they have a 30 home sold record, and then when I go inside, then I saw 20 of them is actually lease. I don't do it in lease, but some people they build up a track record kind of like that using lease track record. You know what I mean? So that you can, but I don't do lease, but there's some people that do it. They because it looks like they have a lot of transaction, but half of it is a lease. Okay, so we went over the pre-sale package, the discover the personality, and then communicate the way they want to be communicated, and then you gotta figure out the why. The why is very important. Maybe next time we'll do another separate session just on why, focusing on why. And then usually I ask them even before I go meet with them. I ask them what price they want. That way I know exactly what's going on. If there's a gap, if the price is right on the point. If there is a gap, then there's a little bit harder. Then I gotta figure out how to close that gap on the pricing. And so you want to basically you do not want to move into the selling section unless you have opened them up. Basically that meaning that you have established the communication channel. And you know exactly what they want, what's the reason they want to sell the home, and what's the price you want. You do not move on to the selling section unless you know this, unless the communication channel is open, unless you know the price they want, unless you know their motivation, unless you know their personality type. So you will not move on to the next step unless you know all this. So once you figure out all this, then once you figure out, pretty much you do not need to sell anymore. So there are times where I finished the presentation, they sign a contract, We never talk about the commission. Like this one time I signed.
Yes,
Hello?
Oh no, go ahead. Sorry.
The reason we never got to the commission is because in their mind, it's, hey, this is the guy. He can get it done for me. That's all they have in their mind. When that's all they have in their mind, they don't even ask the commission.
Mm-hmm.
So this one time I was signing, a lot of times it's like that. So I finished the contract, I signed everything, and I left. I was downstairs. And the homeowner, he came chasing down. He's like, hey, wait, Ray. What's my commission? So in that situation, a lot of times I just write whatever I want.
Wow.
Because, remember, because commission is not what they care about. A lot of times, people think that is because the agents actually kept talking about the commission. The agents actually kept talking about the price. That's not what they want. What they want is their ultimate outcome. Is, can you help me to solve my problem? To sell the home to get to where I want to go. That's what they're after. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So if you focus on the why, if you focusing on making the promise that you can get it done for them, no problem. So basically after you finish talking, the perception you want to have in their mind is that Ray is the best guy that can help me get this done. Nobody else. Ray is the only guy. That's the outcome you're looking for. So basically you're transferring the confidence. This is a term coined by Belfort, the guy from the Wolf of Wall Street. What's his name? I forgot.
Oh, yeah, Jordan Belfort.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Jordan Belfort. They're top sales. They make a lot of money, but they sort of can do it because they were kind of lying. They were lying the whole time. They were like, so that's why he went to jail. But he does have a strong sales skill, but we don't need to lie. We even without lying, we can do it too. So basically, like he was saying that you need to transfer your confidence to the customer. So usually, sometimes I ask them, I say on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident you are that I can get the job done for you. Usually I ask them. So basically so a lot of it, you are communicating, you're talking, but what you're going after is the you want to transfer your confidence into them. You know what I mean, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
hey guys.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got 11 o'clock, but
that's pretty much it. So that's pretty much it. So we talk about the disc, we talk about the why, we talk about the so next session we're gonna talk about monopoly. Okay. So you can set another time. Let me know when you guys can do it. So we'll talk about the monopoly, and so basically, if you do it correctly, it's gonna dramatically increase your closing rate. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Awesome.
So basically today we'll talk about
Great.
half. Today we went through the half of the presentation. Okay. The next time we're gonna do the second half, but the first half is actually more important. If you get the first half correctly, if you get it done correctly, then you don't even need to worry about the second half. Just like I was talking to you about, they didn't even talk about the commission. So if you get the first half right, then it's a done deal. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much all fact finding. It's just, and you're doing this all in the meeting, right?
Doing what?
You're doing all the fact finding in the meeting as you're sitting down with them.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends. You have to be flexible. It's not just it's not just sitting in front of the table. You start the process the minute you meet with them. You start the process throughout. When you're walking through the to look at the home. You start the process from the minute you meet with them.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, Damon, if you want to hop off, I guess Ray, what items? You can send over the items we talked about, and then we'll figure out a time later this week to next meeting so we can.
I'll send you another folder, okay, with all the information and homework. Yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Okay. You guys have any questions?
All right. Thanks. Oh no, we're all good, Ray.
All right. Okay.
Thanks so much, man.
All right. Thank you. Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye bye.
还要先 做一个背景调查，这个把这个人的一些细节